Okay, kids, now take your English textbook and turn to the lesson The Caribbean Trip. This lesson is mostly about poetry reading. Poetry reading means these mostly contain the poems and you have to recite these poems and answer the questions given. So we'll start the lesson now. Okay, kids, now take your English text. Okay, kids, first of all, we will say what is a poem. A poem is a collection of spoken or written words that expresses ideas or emotions in a proper way. So, what does that mean? Have you listened to any poems? Of course, yes. So, when you recite a poem, you can feel what's inside this poem and what the poet is going to tell you. So, that's how a poem is built up. So, I said a word, a poet. What is this poet word means? Let me tell you. Poet is a person who writes a poem. Poet is a person who writes the poems. So, can you see in this poem there you have given the name of the poet. What is the name of the poet? Yes. So, you can see the name of the poet. Here you have the poem. Let's read the poem and answer the questions. What is the name of the poem? I'd like to squeeze. Let's recite the poem. I'd like to squeeze this round world into a new shape. I'd like to squeeze this round world like a tube of toothpaste. I'd like to squeeze this round world fair and square. I like to squeeze it and squeeze it till everybody had an equal share. By John Agathe. So, can you see the poem? A really nice poem. And can you see at the end you have given the name of the poet. What does this poem says about? Can you look at those three pictures? They are having something on their hands. It's like a clay ball, but it's not a clay ball. It's like our world. So, first they are saying, I like to squeeze this round world into a new shape. They have the world in their hands and they want it to make it into a new shape. Then second line, I'd like to squeeze this round world like a tube of toothpaste. You know what a toothpaste is? So they want to squeeze it into a tube of toothpaste. Third line, I'd like to squeeze this round world fair and square. He wants to or they wants to squeeze this round world into a fair and square shapes. Then fourth line or the last line, I'd like to squeeze it and squeeze it till everybody had an equal share. What's the meaning of equal share? Equal share means divide anything among people with same amount of anything. Like you can see, if you have 3 pieces of cakes and if you are going to divide it by you three, then one of you get one piece. That's then equal share. And do you know the meaning of squeeze? Squeeze means it needs pressure to squeeze something. After squeezing, we can extract something or make a different shape. As example, if you squeeze a lemon, what will happen? If you squeeze a lemon, you can get lemon juice. So that is the meaning of squeeze. Here you have the poem. Let's read the poem and answer the questions. What is the name of the poem? Okay children, now we have completed one poem. So let's move on to the next poem. Let's read the next poem, Flying Fish by John Agat. Both the poems are written by the same poet. Let's read the poem. Flying fish, what is your wish? In water you swim, yet like to skim through wind. Flying fish, make up your mind. Are you a bird inside a fish, or just a dreaming of wings? What does this poem is about? Can you look at the pictures and tell me? It's about fish and how they swim. Let's explain this lesson. Flying fish, what is your wish? The poet is asking from fish. Flying fish, what is your wish? Next one. In water you swim, yet like to skim through wind. Do you know the meaning of skim? No. Okay, let me tell you. Skim means remove from the surface of a liquid or swim out through the wind. This fish is swimming very fast through the water like a very fast fish. Flying fish, make up your mind. This poem is telling the fish to make up your mind because it can't swim very fast. Are you a bird inside a fish or just a fish dreaming of wings? Can you see? This fish is not like a normal fish. Look at their wings. Those wings are very larger than normal fish, like a bird. So this poem is about a fish with larger wings, and this poet is making this fish feel like a bird. So he is comparing this fish to a bird, and he is still asking from the fish, are you a bird dreaming of wings, or are you a fish? So let's do the questions after this poem. Okay, now after reciting the poems and explaining the poems, we will move on to the questions. First, A part. Read the poem I would like to squeeze and flying fish on the page 86 and 87. A part. Read and respond. First question. In the poem I like to squeeze, which line is repeated? Can you tell me the answer? Yes, the answer is I'd like to squeeze this round world. That means this line is repeated throughout the poem. If you see the poem again and recite the poem, you can see the answer. You have to write the answer in your book. Let's move on to the second question. In the poem Flying Fish. So the second question is about the second poem. In the poem Flying Fish, How does the fish move in water? Now I explained how the fish is moving in the water. Can you find the answer? Yes. It swims like it wants to swim out of wind, and it swims like a bird that fly very fast in wind. Okay, you write the answer for the second question also. After that, let's move on to the B part. B part, first question. In Flying Fish, why does the poet ask the fish if it is a bird inside a fish? Why? Do you know the answer? Because fish swims like a bird which has wings. Can you remember? In that poem, Flying Fish, the poet compared this fish to a bird because it moves and swims like a bird. Okay, write the answer. Then move on to the second question. In I'd Like to Squeeze, what does the poet want everybody in the world to have? Can you look at the poem again, I'd Like to Squeeze? At the end of the lines, at the end of the poem, the last line tells you what everybody in the world to have. What is the answer? Poet wants everybody to have an equal share. So here's the answer. Write it down. Okay? Okay kids, after completing the questions on page 88, now you can go to page 89. A part. Find one pair of rhyming words in each of the poems on pages 86 and 87. So look at the poems again and find rhyming words from those poems and write the answers. I don't want to explain you the rhyming words. I have done already. So prefer that note again if you can't remember and do the A part question. The next B part, underline the two words in each of the following lines that start with the same sound. So here you have to read aloud these two sentences. What is your wish? Like a tube of toothpaste. In those two lines, there are two words are starting with the same sound. Can't you find it? Then read it again. Read it and find the answer and underline the words that starts with the same sound. Okay, now here in C part you have a new lesson. Let me tell you the question. C part. Show how the words below can be split up into syllables. The first one has been done for you. Do you know syllables? No. Let me explain you the syllables. Okay kids, now I am going to introduce you what is a syllable. A syllable is a letter or a combination of letters that are set together in a single effort or chunking of sounds. Every syllable must have a vowel. Words can have 1, 2, 3 or multi-syllables in them. Look at the examples given. The word is diamond. How many syllables does this diamond word has? Let's find out. Diamond. How many syllables? 2 syllables. Let's move on to the next example. Minerals. How many syllables does this word has? Mean, else. Mean, else. How many syllables? This has 3 syllables. Let's move on to the next one. Shovel. Shovel. How many syllables does this has? Shovel. How many syllables? 2 syllables. I have given more examples like that. Tiger, tiger, 2 syllables. Pilot, pilot, 2 syllables. Like that, I have given some examples. Can you look at the word basketball? How many syllables does it have? Basketball. It has 3 syllables. These syllables can be found easily. Take your palm and keep it under your chin, and you can start find the syllables. When you pronounce the word tiger, tell me how many times your chin touches the palm. Tiger. How many times it touches? 2 times. That means it has 2 syllables. Let's try the basketball word. Do it with me. Basketball. How many touches? How many touches are there? I can feel 3 touches are there. That means it has 3 syllables. Shall we do it again? Basketball. Can you see? Your chin touches your palm 3 times. That means it has 3 syllables. Can you all understand? Okay, let's move on to some questions about regarding these syllables. Okay kids, now I explain you what are syllables. Now I have given you a worksheet. It's 20 questions and I have given 20 words. So you have to write the number of syllables each word has. I told you a easy method. If you can't find the syllables, take your hand and keep it under your chin and start telling the words. The time it touches your hand tells you the number of syllables this word has. In examples, you have given the word bat. Let's read the word bat and see how many times it touches our hand. Bat. How many times did your chin touches your hand? Bat. When you say bat, it's only 1 time. That means has 1 syllable. Let's see about the word monkey. Monkey. How many times your chin touches the hand? It's 2 times. That means it has how many syllables? 2 syllables. Let's move on to the word forever. Let me see how it touches the chin. Forever. How many times? 3 times. That means it has 3 syllables. Okay, I hope it's an easy method to find the syllables. So, let's start doing the work. Hurry up guys.